Hello again. This is Will Luden, your host with Revolution 2.0, a revolution of the heart. And right now I'm bringing you today's episode, which is gratitude. Does the left have any? And does the right demand it? And together we are at episode 383. We are busy politicizing everything in our society, everything from science to medicine to education to sports to law enforcement to history. If it's a topic in our society, we are unfortunately politicizing it. And now we're adding, or I'm observing that we're adding, gratitude to the list that we're politicizing, and much to our peril. Today's 10-minute episode will help us in our daily lives, and that will help us think through the larger issues that surround us. Everything starts with gratitude. It is the bedrock, the touchstone, the cornerstone for everything from a political philosophy or religious dogma, or simply how to get through each day successfully. Ingratitude is the poison that's the opposite. And perhaps the most pernicious form of ingratitude is being ungrateful and encouraging others to be ungrateful. Many on the left are falsifying history with the things like the 1619 Project and critical race theory. And this distortion of history is intended to convince people that the United States is deeply flawed well before it became a nation. As a matter of fact, starting in 1619, and is irredeemably flawed and needs to be pulled apart and put back together in a different way, in their way. And then they add that everything that's important is a human right. Everything from housing to healthcare and all sorts of things are all human rights. And they're preaching that these are rights. And there's really nothing to be grateful for. All you have to do is demand your rights. But there's an obvious irony there, because these rights, these so-called rights, are supposed to be delivered by the deeply flawed nation that they're characterizing America to be, and I see it as something of the opposite. But characterizing this deeply flawed this nation as the entity that's to provide all these rights, and they go further. The irony extends when they say that the primary people who are paying for these rights, funding the government that would deliver these rights, are people they criticize as privileged and capitalist. For their part, many on the right are demanding that people be grateful, and they're especially demanding that people who are getting taxpayer-funded benefits be grateful for what they get. And that's just silly. You can't demand gratitude any more than you can demand love and respect. All three must be earned and given voluntarily. We're surrounded 24/7 by things that we should be grateful for. If you have access to running water, you should be grateful. 1 person in 3 on the planet doesn't have access to a clean toilet. 1 person in 9 on the planet doesn't have clean water nearby. And when it comes to electricity, when our power goes out, and it goes out from time to time, we fuss and we fume and we feel greatly inconvenienced. And then when it comes back on, it's like, what was the matter with them? How come they couldn't do better than that? 1.2 billion people on this planet don't have any electricity. Their power is always out. And today, noticing I'm wearing a heavy sweater and I've got a long sleeve garment on underneath that. It was 4 degrees when I got up this morning. I'm grateful for the heat. Grateful for a warm house and warm floors to walk on. And we should all be grateful that we are either we're born in or live in the most prosperous, most successful, freest nation in history. And let's pause for an important distinction. Gratitude does not mean content. I'm about an hour south of Denver, where the masthead on the Denver Post used to say, "There is no hope for the satisfied man." Again, being grateful doesn't mean I'm good with the way things are. And having gratitude doesn't mean going limp. As a matter of fact, having and showing gratitude is a lot harder than complaining and fussing. And more than that, an attitude of gratitude gives you a foundation, the bedrock that you need to grow and improve, contribute more, be more, and contribute more. Gratitude is the bedrock. And you know what? Gratitude just works. And I'm for things that work. And so it's your turn. Your turn. Going from water to electricity and freedom and opportunity, what are the things that you're grateful for? Tell your friends and family. Write them down for yourself. Writing down is very, very convicting. And share them here. I care, and I can promise you that everybody else who enjoys Revolution 2.0 also cares. We all have the personal responsibility to practice and encourage gratitude entirely independent of any political or religious philosophies. Just to practice and encourage gratitude is the bedrock, is the foundation for our lives. And speaking of personal responsibility, this principle does not stand alone. The two main tenets, the two main principles at Revolution 2.0 are one, and if you've listened to or watched episodes in the past, you can say them along with me. This is like an old-fashioned sing-along. One, personal responsibility. Take it, teach it. And two, be your brother's keeper. The answer to the age-old question, am I my brother's keeper, is a ringing, unequivocal yes. There is simply no other answer. So what are you going to do? Where do you stand and what are you going to do? Because it doesn't matter where you stand if you don't do anything. And you can do something positive right now. You can sign up, you can subscribe, you can get others to subscribe, you can talk to others about these episodes. That's a very positive first step that you can take right now. And if you're enjoying this on YouTube, go ahead and hit the bell to be notified and give us a like. As always, whatever you do, whatever I do, whatever you do, whatever we do, let's do it in love. Without love, anything we do is empty. This is Will Luden. I'll talk to you next time.
You've been listening to Revolution 2.0. If you've enjoyed this stimulating, passionate, and relentless reasoning, we encourage you to get out there and do something. Follow Will Luden and learn more at revolution2-0.org.